Hello, and welcome to this video, which will present foundational information about mentoring in a school setting. We will talk briefly about what mentors do and what characteristics are important for quality mentoring. Specifically, this video will provide a brief introduction to the dimensions of mentoring and the roles that mentor teachers can play in their interactions with student teachers. We will also talk about the importance of beginning with a positive presupposition in order to build a trusting relationship, and we will review 8 qualities of a great mentor teacher. Mentoring a student teacher will engage you in providing support for a novice in a variety of areas, including professional, instructional, and personal or emotional. Perhaps the most clear-cut of these is the need to provide a student teacher with instructional support. We strongly recommend that mentors and student teachers engage in collaborative planning, teaching, assessment, and reporting. We'll provide more information about collaborative planning and teaching in a later module. Our philosophy for collaborative teaching and planning is that students benefit from having 2 adults working together in the classroom to support them. In the case of a mentor teacher and student teacher, obviously, the mentor is the more knowledgeable and has much to share with the student teacher. Through collaborative work, the student teacher can gain knowledge and skills in an applied setting, while the mentor teacher gains from the reflective process of helping a novice understand planning, teaching, and assessment in a classroom. In addition to providing support for instruction, the mentor teacher provides support around professional responsibilities as well. This can involve gaining clarity on school or district expectations, policies, and procedures, as well as the roles, rights, and responsibilities of the teacher in the specific context. Personal and emotional support is critical as well. For the student teacher, there is much at stake, and anxiety levels can be high. As they are learning by doing, they will need moral support and friendship, as well as encouragement and attention to their well-being from the mentor teacher. According to Angie Maldarez and Caroline Bodatsky, who published a book called Mentor Courses in 1999, mentors are models, acculturators, supporters, champions, and educators. First, they are models of a way of being a teacher in context. They are also acculturators to help the student teacher integrate into a community. Mentors are supporters of the student teacher as a person during the emotionally charged transformation process of becoming a teacher. Mentors are champions of their mentee to ensure that they have optimal conditions for learning during the student teaching experience. Finally, mentors are educators in terms of scaffolding the learning process for the student teacher. Mentors are not trainers or assessors, and they play different roles from that of the university supervisor, who ultimately is the evaluator of the student teacher's success in the experience. An article in Educational Leadership by Cindy Harrison and Joellen Killian lays out 10 leadership roles that teachers can take. We find that these leadership roles are equally applicable to your role as a mentor teacher, so we're providing some information about them here. The article itself is available in the reading section of the course. As a resource provider, the mentor teacher can share instructional resources and model the process for finding and using them with the student teacher. As instructional specialist, the mentor teacher can help implement effective teaching strategies by modeling differentiation, collaborative lesson planning, and the use of research-based strategies for the student teacher. As a curriculum specialist, the mentor teacher can model how to understand, use, and assess standards, how to implement and adapt curriculum, and how to develop and use common assessments. As a learning facilitator, the mentor teacher can model professional learning by engaging with professional development opportunities. As a classroom supporter, the mentor teacher can support the student teacher in implementing new ideas by modeling and co-teaching and by observing and providing feedback. As a school community member, the mentor teacher can support the student teacher in acclimating to the school and district and can model participation on committees, professional learning communities, and other school or district assignments. As data coach, the mentor-teacher can model analyzing and using data to drive instruction. Finally, as a learner, the mentor-teacher can model continual professional improvement, lifelong learning, and the use of that learning to benefit students. A big part of mentoring is building a trusting relationship, acknowledging that the student-teacher is a beginner, but trusting that they have some knowledge and skills to apply to your classroom context. We like to think about this as beginning with a positive presupposition instead of a negative one. Often, this is about how we ask questions of the student-teacher, making it clear that we trust their skills and judgment, and that what we're doing is just helping to nudge the solutions or answers that are already inside them out into the light of day. That's in contrast to asking questions because we're judging them and we found them to be somehow inadequate. We want to begin with questions or statements that focus on the positive possibilities, trusting that the other person is doing the best they can where they are and with what they have. This also means focusing on solutions rather than problems. An example of taking a negative presupposition and shifting it into a positive one is shown on this slide. In a classroom where a student-teacher is struggling with issues related to student behaviors, a negative presupposition would be this first question: why don't you know any classroom management strategies? Or even another version: why aren't you using any classroom management strategies? An alternative, positive way to frame this question would be to assume that the student-teacher does know some classroom management strategies and to ask, what classroom management strategies do you know? And then to follow up with, how might they be applied here? An article by Kimberly Long in Education Week Teacher, which you can find in the reading section of this unit, describes 8 qualities of a great teacher mentor. I encourage you to read the article, but I'll describe those qualities here. First is respect. We've already discussed this a bit with the idea of a positive presupposition. Long makes the argument that showing respect is about the little things, embracing new ideas, and including the student-teacher in professional opportunities. Second is listening. A mentor can pick up on when the student-teacher is stressed out or having a good day just by listening. Next is challenging. Great mentors push student-teachers' thinking and help them grow in new ways by asking questions and pushing for improvement. Number 4 is collaboration. Whether it is making a parent phone call or trying out a new lesson idea, the work goes best when both mentor and student-teacher bring ideas to the table. Number 5 is celebration. Even with the small victories, help your student-teacher to celebrate when things go well. Number 6 is truth. Great mentor teachers tell the truth, understanding that receiving and responding to criticism is how we improve. Number 7 is safety. Can your student-teacher trust you enough to tell you about the mistakes that he or she has made? Your opinion matters greatly to your student-teacher. Finally, number 8 is empathy. Don't forget that student-teachers are human. Life is tough, and we're all in this together. Sometimes life events linger with us into our classrooms, and we need a listening ear, a smile, and maybe even a hug. The purpose of this video has been to provide some foundational information about mentoring, including the dimensions of mentoring, possible roles that mentors can play, the importance of starting with positive presuppositions in order to build trust, and some important qualities for mentor teachers to embrace.